Have you ever met someone and you go like, this is everything I ever wanted? They have everything you need. And you want to be with the person all the time. You want to spend almost every time with the person. Every good news you get, you want to share it with them. Tell them you love them. But what really is love when we say, I love you? Is love the feelings we have in our stomach when we see the person? Or how we feel when we cuddle? Or how we feel when we hug? What really is love? When we say, I love you, what does it really mean? What does the Bible say about love? Join me and let's talk about love. So our life starts with what really is love. How does the Bible define love? I'm reading from the Amplified version of the Bible, 1 Corinthians 13, verse 4 to 8. The Bible says, love endures with patience and serenity. Love is kind and thoughtful and is not jealous or envious. Love does not brag and is not proud or arrogant. Verse 5 says, love is not rude. Love is not self-seeking. Love is not provoked, nor overly sensitive and easily angered. It does not take into account a wrong endured. Verse 6 says, love does not rejoice at injustice, but rejoices with the truth, when right and truth prevail. Verse 7, love bears all things, regardless of what comes. Love believes all things, looking for the best in each other. Hope all things, remaining steadfast during difficult times, endures all things without weakening. And the verse 8a says, love never fails. It never fades nor ends. So if the Bible is saying love never fails, it never fades nor ends, why does love go sour? Why does love get destroyed? Is it that we are not doing it the way God taught us to do it? From the quotation that we have read, love is supposed to last forever if done God's way. So how do you know if you have love? How do you know if you truly love the person you claim that you love? Your family, your friends? Do you really, really love? We can see that in 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 5, the last part of the verse 5. It says, it does not take into account a wrong endured. So it means if you take into account wrongs that you have endured, you are not walking in love, or you don't really love the way God has purposed us to love. So I was asking God, so all the people who have hurt me, all the people who have been mean to me, you say I shouldn't remember them, it should be a thing of the past. And God says, as we seek for forgiveness and He forgives us, that's the same way we are supposed to forgive those who offend us. So let's see if in our relationships we are able to forgive like God forgives us. If in our marriages we are able to forgive like God forgives us. If even amongst our colleagues and our friends we are able to forgive as God forgives us, how nice will it be? What happens to us when we don't let go of the wrongs that we have endured? most of the time we end up with sicknesses because you see the person and you are always scheming, you are fuming, your heart is not at peace. You may even end up with high blood pressure and all those things. But when you let go, letting go means you don't hold the sin against the person anymore. Yes, the person did it. You are not acting like the person didn't do anything wrong to you. The person hurt you. The person did things that really got to you. But letting go means, okay, you did it. I'm not holding it against you anymore. When I see you, I'm not going to remember how I felt when you did whatever you did to me. It doesn't necessarily mean be friends again with the person or go tell the person your secrets or something. It just means that you are not holding the sin against the person, as the Bible says in the Lord's Prayer, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. The Bible that we are supposed to do that 77 times 7 times. And it's not something you can really count or you get a book and you be marking this person has done this to me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 77 times 7 times. So we are supposed to let go. When Jesus Christ hung on the cross, he asked for forgiveness for those who crucified him. I mean, how painful could that be? Someone who hasn't done anything wrong, he was slashed, he was pierced by the side, he had nails nailed into his palms and his feet. And as he hung there, he told God that, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. I mean, what other example of forgiveness can we get? And we can look at the example of Joseph as well. His brothers sold him. They didn't care what happened to him. They went to tell their father that he was dead. And when he became a prime minister, his brothers came to him. When they realized that it was Joseph, they were scared. I mean, between me and you, that is where we would have shown how powerful we are. But Joseph told them that you meant it for bad, but God meant it for good, to bring me to this particular time. So for you to know whether you are walking in love, whether you are really in love with the person you are saying you are in love with, when they hurt you, do you let it go? When they do things that pierces through your heart, do you say, okay, I'm letting it go? Or you hold on to it and remind them the next 7 years when they do something bad? See, the other time you did A, B, C, D, E, F, and you bring all back. You are hurting your heart and yourself. Let it go. That is where you know that you are truly walking in love. So the person you are claiming to love, if they hurt you, are you going to let the pain go? Or you are going to hold on to it and remind them every time they air about it? That is not love. So now that we know whether we are walking in love, between the two of us, we know whether we hold on to people hurting us or we let it go. If we let it go, it's an indication that we are truly walking in love. If we don't let it go, then we have to start working on ourselves to let go of all the pain that people cause us. Next week, we are going to discuss, how do you develop love? Is love prayed for? Do you get baptized with love? Or you have to work it out? Join me next week Wednesday as we discuss.
Please don't forget to like this video, share your views in the comment section, and subscribe to this channel.